Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about something, that people have noticed over the years, and it's one of the things that because of my following, the stuff I did early on online, over 10 years ago, that people assume that I prescribe and advocate people doing mostly really low reps on multi-joint exercises. And while I certainly do promote the majority of our training being multi-joint exercises, I do program small exercises for myself, for my clients. But the thing is, I prescribe a lot more higher rep work than people realize. And I think that that's kind of a break from the stuff that I was teaching a decade ago, stuff that I got published for. Because I helped bring 5x5 back into vogue. One of the most famous things I ever did was my 5x5 program that I wrote in 2012, and it got published in Muscle and Strength, and it got millions and millions of views. Tens of thousands of people had run the program. And so, because of that, people have these ideas like, oh man, that's what Blaha advocates. And the reality is you don't see me doing a lot of low rep work. You don't see me doing a lot of it at all. If I do, it's like one set in my own training, like right there. I think that was like a 6-rep set, 315 on the pause bench, Okay, fairly low rep. Most of my training isn't like that, and most of my clients it isn't. And this is something that I did more and more the longer I observed, the more I talked to really high-level coaches, the longer I coached. And something I started noticing, about 3-4 years ago as I was coaching, I had clients come on and they were shocked. They're like, when I hired you, because of what you were known for years ago, I'm really surprised at the number of 10-rep sets that you prescribed me. I was not expecting this, right? Keeping in mind, that was before I was doing client vlogs. When I started putting vlogs out of some of my clients' training, that was a shocker for a lot of people. They're like, where's all these 8 to 12 rep sets? That looks like hypertrophy. I thought you didn't even believe in the hypertrophy rep range, and I don't. But here's the thing that I've come to over the years, a few things to think about. I believe that we do have to lift heavy to maximize strength. You know what? And I think max effort training absolutely has its place for building our 1-rep maxes, which is our absolute strength. Okay? It absolutely has a place. That's an important place, right? But I don't have to have every lifter max out to come in and hit big maxes. I remember at one time I walked into that one event and pulled 625 with no peak. I didn't touch anything 600 plus pounds walking into that event for months and months and months and months. I pulled 625, charity event. No preparation, But the thing is, the thing that I've realized over the years, progressive overload matters. You bet it does. You better get stronger at those 10-rep sets, those 12-rep sets. You better. But ultimately, we need neural drive, yes. Some heavy work, max effort work, possibly heavy fives, a heavy top set, even some speed work. All can have its place in building a max. But where does our potential come from? It comes from our size, okay? A bigger muscle has more strength potential, way more strength potential. Whereas they say in the car world, an expression we used to use growing up, there's no replacement for displacement, meaning a bigger engine has more horsepower potential. Doesn't guarantee that it'll have it, but it has more potential for it, okay? Same is true of muscles. The potential for more force production, the larger the contractile proteins. In other words, get thick. Now, people will say, but it's not always necessary. You can get a lot of neural drive, you can get technique, that's true. But it'll always go a lot better if you get bigger. Okay, number one. Number two, people will point out, but can't you get big on a 5x5? Yes. You'll also get more beat up. And that's the thing that the research shows. When we start doing large amounts of really heavy work, it beats our recovery up in its own way. And I'm not saying there isn't a certain type of fatigue from high rep work, but it's our joints, it's our bones. Okay? Right there, you see me doing 8 reps with 500 pounds on a deficit deadlift. Okay? It's calibrated plates, you cannot dispute that weight. So, what do you think my bones feel like after doing that? And that's not in all out max. I can pull over 600 pounds, but even that, what do you think my bones feel like after one set? You think I want to do 5 by 5 with 500 pounds? I mean, I could. I could probably grind that out on a deadlift, on a normal conventional deadlift. Probably not the deficit. The deadlift bar, I could probably do it, especially if I strap up. What do you think it's going to feel like? On a good day, maybe I could 5 by 5 with 315 bench. I don't know about that many. I could 3 by 3 it. I could do 5 sets of 3. I could probably drop down to 300 and 5 by 5 it. What do you think my joints are going to feel like? They're going to hurt. They're going to hurt. We can get more quality volume in with slightly lighter weight. Okay. Doing stuff that's a little harder, still heavy, and I don't like this idea, well, you can make the weight feel heavier so we use a really lightweight. No, I'm not saying that. You use a safety bar. You can use a deficit deadlift. We can pause all of our rep work on the benching, force us to use a little less weight, but we're still getting that mechanical tension that we want. Okay? But if I come in and do one heavy set of bench and then I drop it down to 225 and knock out 3 sets of 12, how much hypertrophy did I stimulate with that 4 sets? Let's say I do that 6 rep set with 315. That's hard. Then I do that pump work after. Okay, we get a lot of quality volume. My joints are not beat up. If I go to a powerlifting meet, I don't have to do many heavy reps. Why do I need to do a bunch of heavy reps in training? Just do a few. I really only have to do 3 reps at the meet. Okay. And they better be perfect. You do one heavy set, just maybe strain on the last rep a little bit, like you're going to do at your final attempt at a meet. You train like that. That's heavy. We'll get the neural drive we need from that. Come in and get thick. You know what? It's a lot easier to recover from 3 sets of 10, or 3 sets of 12 than it is a 5 by 5, or 5 by 3. They beat your joints up. You don't need to do that many heavy sets. And you can progressively overload the sets of 10 and 12 and whatever. But with some of these smaller movements, can't we do 12s, 15s? I do like 18 reps or something on this curl set. I think on these safety bar squats I'm doing over here, it's like sets of 12. Okay. Why can't we do that? Of course we can. It works. We're still getting the heavy work in. Okay. We've also fatigued the upper threshold fibers. We get to them a little easier on the rep work if we did that, had some heavy stuff first, just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. One good set. I come and do a heavy set of squat, heavy set of deadlifts for 4 or 5 reps. Come in and just do volume after that. As long as it's fatiguing, are we taking the sets close to failure? Are we following the rules of progressive overload? Are we generally either increasing the reps or increasing the weight over time to accompany that rate of perceived exertion as we get real close to failure? Okay, if we are doing that, we're going to get bigger. We're going to raise our strength ceiling. We're going to recover from it easier than just beating ourselves into the ground. Again, you don't need that much heavy work to get good in maxes. You're not maxing 25 times at a meet. Okay, it's not necessary. And this is what I have found to be true with myself and with most of my lifters, is getting people to be patient with it. It's that. A lot of times your biggest issue, guys, who've only been lifting heavy, they get that little regression at first, that volume work. It's hard. They don't want to do it. they're not understanding that over time they're going to bounce back easier. They're going to get in better shape. They're going to gain more muscle. That strength is going to go up. This is how we play the long game. This is how we do it without getting hurt. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.